Kelly was horrified to discover that the water in the roadside pool had suddenly begun to boil. At this moment, many cracks appeared on the road, extending all the way to the traffic police officer's feet. Suddenly, a deep pit emerged, and the officer fell straight into it. However, the pit didn't stop there. It began to expand rapidly in all directions. People were frightened and fled in panic, and Kelly was no exception. She immediately stepped on the gas pedal and started to reverse, but there were too many cars stuck on the road, making it impossible for them to escape. Helpless, Kelly decided to get out of the car with her children and flee on foot. Unfortunately, during the escape, her son was accidentally knocked down by a fleeing person and injured on the ground. Seeing this, Kelly told her daughter to go ahead while she returned to save her son. However, after just a few steps, she saw her son being swallowed by the deep pit. Devastated by the loss of her son, Kelly stood there in grief. The pit, however, continued to expand. By the time Kelly reacted, the pit had already reached her. She wanted to run, but it was too late. Just as she was about to fall into the pit, a hand grabbed Kelly. It was her daughter who had returned. However, the daughter's strength was too small to pull Kelly up immediately. As the pit kept growing, Kelly knew that the longer she stayed there, the more dangerous it would be for her daughter. Unwilling to drag her daughter down, Kelly said a sorrowful goodbye and released her daughter's hand, voluntarily falling into the pit. Kelly kept falling until a green light appeared before her eyes, and she fell straight into it. When she opened her eyes, she found herself in a primitive world, with the green light appearing eerily in the sky. However, Kelly had no time to dwell on it. Her top priority was to find her son. She wanted to call him, but discovered there was no signal here. Kelly was surprised, but didn't think much of it and began searching. At this moment, a plume of thick smoke from the forest caught her attention. Kelly quickly rushed to the place where the smoke was billowing and was surprised to find that a large number of people who had fallen into the pit had already gathered in this clearing, and her son was among them. The mother and son were overjoyed, both grateful that the other had survived. However, what they didn't expect was that at this moment, a large wolf emerged from the woods. The wolf charged towards them, and they could only flee quickly, not only in their location, but more wolves had also broken into the clearing and begun to attack the survivors. People started to dodge, and some tried to fight back but were directly turned into the wolves' food. In the chaos, Kelly's son was also knocked down by a hungry wolf. In desperation, she picked up a stone to fend off the wolf, but this only angered it. At the critical moment, survivor David shot and killed the wolf, saving the mother and son. The wolf pack was also scared off as a result.